Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Matt Allen here. What we're going to cover tonight is our second to last topic in the night series. We're going to talk about fishing swim baits at night. These are topics that have been brushed on by other people, but I've never really seen anyone delve completely into how to fish a swim bait at night in terms of speed, particular baits, that sort of thing. We're going to cover a little bit of that right now. We'll keep this one pretty short, hopefully, but I'm going to try and give you as much information as I can in a short amount of time. Let's begin with a common bait. Everybody knows what this is by now, the Huddleston. When this bait came out, everybody talked about how it would work great in the daytime, but not at night, because it really didn't move as much water as other swim baits did. I would say at this point that has been fully proven incorrect. This style of tail, just like a boot tail, has been completely proven to work at night. Swim baits have a huge presence in the water. They're natural, they go slow, they don't have rattles, they're not a traditional night bait, but because of their sheer size, they create a presence, they create a vibration all their own, and bass are able to find them very, very easily. As far as baits go, I'll show you the 4 or 5 that I use the most often. In fact, we'll cover that really quickly, but I'm going to be honest with you, it almost doesn't matter. It matters less at night than it does in the day. So the ones I use is the Huddleston, the Matt Lures Tournament Series. This is actually a 316. It's got that Osprey style tail. The Osprey is another one. The Tournament Series, or the Tournament Talon, 6 or 7 inch Tournament Talon Osprey. And then the River to Sea Bottom Walker. Totally generic swim bait, very inexpensive, gets bit great. At night, like I'm saying, you don't have to spend a ton of money on these baits. I'm not even that particular about colors. I mean, if you look here, they're all totally different colors, and it doesn't matter. The thing is, you got to go slow. There are times when you can fish a swim bait at night fast. You can throw it shallow, reel it back, and they'll eat it. But it's rare. I'm probably one of the fastest swim bait fishermen I know, and by that I mean I go down the bank and I fish, which a lot of other guys don't do. But when it comes to night fishing, even I slow down. I get down and I let that bait hit bottom and I just creep it along. Because you got to understand, you're trying to play the odds. It's not that you can't get bit going fast, but you're going to get more bites, you're going to get bigger bites if you slow it down. So in terms of swim baits at night, you almost can't go too slow. Throw the bait out, hit the bottom, just creep it along. And I mean, I even go slower than what I'm doing here. Creep that bait. If you're fishing in an environment with a lot of weeds or something on the bottom, I'm telling you, go slow anyway. Fish a more weedless swim bait. Learn how to shake the weeds off a bait. I mean, even a bait like a Huddleston. I learned to throw this at night in a lake that had horrible, horrible weeds in it. Hydrilla beds that were 15 feet deep. 15 feet thick. So you'd be out in 30 feet of water, and the bottom would be reading at 15 feet because the hydrilla was so thick. But we'd throw these things out, we'd let them get down, they'd hit the weeds, and you just start to crawl them. And you can feel when they're coming up against weeds or up against rocks. So instead of burying it in there, I just kind of reel down until it would start getting weighted, and then you just kind of pop it up and out. Just shake that bait as you pull it up, and it'll usually shake the weeds off. And then come back down without any weeds on it, and you can continue your retrieve. And then shake them off. Continue your retrieve. You'll be amazed what you can get a swim bait with a bare jig hook to come through. It's unreal. So don't be afraid to throw these exposed hook baits in weeds, in rocks. Same thing in rocks. If you watch some of my winter daytime videos last year, you could see me rock pile fishing. We're throwing them out, and that bait's getting down. You can see the rod just loading up as I'm getting nearer and nearer a rock. And that bait's pulling down into the cracks in the rock, and then it would kind of hang up, and you shake it. You don't want to bury it in the rock, but you shake it. So what will happen is this bait will come up to the rocks, and you see how that line tie that line tie is lifted up. So it's going to come up and it's going to hit that rock and it's going to catch. Now the hook is not stuck at all. If I start jerking on it, that hook might get stuck. But as long as it's just right on the nose of that bait, I just start to shake it, it'll pick it up and pull it over, and then it can continue moving. That's why you do that. Just pull it in real slow, shake that rod tip, get it over the rock, continue. Same thing with the weeds, you get it. You also do need to get a bait knocker, especially night fishing. A hound dog, they've got all sorts of different names, but basically a weight that you can slide down your line and knock the baits free. It's going to save you a lot of money. It's also going to give you confidence to throw the baits into all sorts of terrible places you wouldn't want to throw them otherwise. You can fish these baits anywhere. So as far as time of year, doesn't matter. You can throw this swim bait at night any time of year. Catch them in the dead of summer, catch them in the dead of winter, but always creeping the bottom. You can't go too slow. The other tip that I want to give you, because like I said, we're going to keep this one pretty short. The other tip is some baits are stiffer than others. You know, a lot of the times I'm a fan of like very generic baits. I don't talk about it that much, but you can go out and buy $5 swim baits and they'll work just as well as $30 and $40 baits in the right conditions. But this is one place where it matters. Because you're going so slow, you don't want a bait that's going to get down and then fall on its side and just drag along the bottom. Now, that said, I've actually seen those work too. I got outfished by a friend who was fishing a bait that would literally fall, hit the bottom, tip over, and just kind of bump along. But as a rule of thumb, you want that bait to fall down, hit, and then you can just slowly swim it. And the key is to find baits where even when you're going slow, that tail still kicks. That's the key. The slower the tail movement, the better. A lot of really good baits don't work that well at night because that tail doesn't move at slow enough speeds. A tip for you is the same thing we do with other soft plastic baits. Don't be afraid to boil your baits. Painted baits, and I mean literally, if you haven't heard this before, we literally boil them. Get a pot, fill it with water, get it boiling. You dip the bait down into the water, hold it there, 5 to 15 seconds, pull it back out. Hang it straight, let it dry. It's also the same way that you straighten tails out on baits once they get kinked. But what it will also do is serve to soften the material. You boil them a few different times. Don't overboil them. The paint will peel off. But boil them a little bit at a time. That plastic changes and gets softer and softer and softer, almost to the point that it becomes sticky. A bait that's really soft kicks unbelievably at slow speeds. So you can take baits that are fairly generic, that are not expensive, made of stiff plastic, and get them to kick at incredibly slow speed. You're going to get more bites. I hope these tips help you. Keep it simple. Don't worry about brand. Just get yourself some baits, soften them up, creep them along the bottom. The bass will come to you. Don't worry about color. Don't even worry that much about the size of the bait. 5-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. The fish can feel it. That's what their lateral line is for. And if you're going slow enough, they're going to come to you. You're going to start catching big fish at night on a swim bait. Good luck out there.